Now let's talk about different ways to add color to your design using blending modes. There's a couple of different ways to do this. One way is to make a new layer just by hitting Shift Command N, Shift Command N, or by clicking on the Add New Layer icon located next to your trash bin in the Layers panel. Now I'm just going to use my paint bucket tool and a generic color, in this case the color orange, and making sure that my paint bucket is 100% opacity. I'm going to hit 0, 0 to make sure that my paint bucket is 100% opacity. If you notice up at the top of the screen there, when I typed in 0, 0, my opacity changed to 100%. Now I click on this blank layer. I have now completely covered up the turkey, and all you see is layer 1, which is orange. Now we can use a blending mode to apply this orange color to the rest of the picture, and it can create a really interesting result. To do this, I'm going to change my blending mode. Blending modes are located at the top of the layers panel, and whatever blending mode you click is going to be applied to the layer that you have selected. So I have layer 1 selected. I'm going to click on the word normal here. That's going to access the drop down menu of different blending modes, and I'm going to change my blending mode to color. Color does something really interesting. It applies the color that you're choosing to the value regardless of what color is underneath. So because the black, the dark color in the turkey's feathers there, is very dark, it's allowing that blackness to show through. And because the red of the turkey's snood is kind of a medium value, it's applying a medium value orange to that red snood. And it's leaving the white feathers mostly white with just a light tint of orange. So the value is showing through, but the color is being changed to whatever color we choose. Now this is a really fun tool to play with because you can get really creative. Now right now I chose just a kind of generic, boring orange color, right? But instead of using my paint bucket tool, I'm going to use my gradient tool. And what I'll do now is I'll choose 2 colors. In this case, I'll change my red here to orange, and I'll change my green to blue. And it doesn't matter what values of those colors are just yet. And I'm going to select one of the gradient options up at the top of the screen. In this case, I'll choose the Radial Gradient. And watch what happens. It's going to create a gradient over my picture, but the color blending mode is going to allow the inherent values in the subject to show through. And so for all the dark areas of the picture, dark orange or dark blue is going to be applied, and for all the lighter areas of the picture, light orange or light blue is going to be applied. So you can create some really interesting effects. In this case, you know, the middle of the picture now has this blue color to it, and the outside vignette of the picture has an orange color to it. Let's see a different gradient. In this case, I'll use the reflected gradient. And so now the band of blue is showing through, and everywhere where it's kind of dark in that picture, the blue is darker. Everywhere where it's lighter, the blue is lighter. And then at the top and bottom, there's that little bit of orange. This is a complementary color scheme because we're choosing two colors that are on opposite ends of the color wheel. If we wanted to do something that's like a triad, I'll choose my blue, red, and yellow here. And this time I'll choose the diamond. So take a look at that. This is now a triad color scheme because we have yellow in the middle, red, and blue. Three colors that are on opposite ends of the color wheel, right? Equal distant apart. And so you can do the same thing with an adjustment layer, right? We were just using a blank layer, but now I'm going to change my adjustment layer to something that's like a solid color or a gradient. In this case, I'll choose a gradient. And I want to choose a nice, we'll do a monochromatic sort of style with one of these colors here. And now I'm going to change the blending mode to color. And again, see how the same thing works. We have the blues. This is now a monochromatic color scheme. The light blues are showing up in the light values of the picture. The dark blues are showing up in the dark values of the picture.